place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find there. That's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today can be the someday. Today can be the one day. Today can be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day.
I'm Jim Brogan. I was born here. I've been here all my life. I have 2 degrees from the University of Tennessee. So we do wealth management and retirement planning. Anything in your life that could impact your finances. So we serve people. And that's part of our mission statement. We serve
That's on
people.
the National Day calendar. Today we're
Well, good
celebrating
morning and happy Thursday, or better yet, Friday Eve. Hey, by the way, just so you know, the active wet weather pattern starts today, and I'm walking you through a very long forecast here today because we're going to dive into the rain event that's expected to start to pick up throughout the day today. We're talking about, of course, that all-important weekend forecast, and the busiest travel week is upon us starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. as a lot of folks start to hit the road tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening for the Thanksgiving week. And with that said, we've got a very active weather pattern setting up shop across the entire country. We are going to likely to see a lot of airport delays, of course, due to weather, not to mention anything else that's going on with the airlines, right? Well, tanking temperatures by the end of the week. And yes, I'm previewing Thanksgiving Day. We're talking about the chance for snow as the ensembles are starting to come in line just a little bit more. Not to mention some brutally cold air. It's going to set up shop by the end of next week. All right, do I have your attention? Grab yourself a cup of coffee. If you don't have an East Tennessee weather mug, you should grab one. You know, Christmas is right around the corner. I've got a merch shop, so make sure you check that out as well. And I will say this. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. I have already put the link into the chat. If you're joining me on social media and you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, click on the link. Just scroll up through the chat, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, and or Facebook, and click on the link. Download it from your cell phone right now. It will just take you, no matter if you have iPhone or Android, it takes you right to your own app store. But it travels wherever you go. And do me a favor, make sure you allow notifications and location services. Now, if you don't want the locations on all the time, you can turn those off whenever you want. But if you're traveling for the holidays, you're going to want this on because of the active pattern that's setting up shop. All right, let's get to work. Let's take you outside first things first this morning. And it is super foggy out there this morning. Got a dense fog advisory that's been issued by the National Weather Service that runs until 9 o'clock here this morning. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Again, we'll see some sunshine after the fog burns off, but it's not going to be short-lived as the clouds and the chance for rain starts to pick its way back up throughout the second part of our day. Wow, what a day it was yesterday. Near record high temperatures in Knoxville. We made it to 77, blasting past my forecast high of 71. Sorry about that, folks, but no models had us actually in the upper 70s. We were all the models. Weather Service was at 72, and the GFS, the NAM, and high resolution NAM were right around 70, 72 as well. So again, I was forecasting 71. We made it to 77, but we did have a record high in Crossville. The old record was 71, set back in 1985, and also a record high in Chattanooga at 79. The old record was 77, set back in 1985. 1985 was definitely a record-breaking day. All right, so this takes us from tomorrow, Friday, November 21st, through Sunday, November 30th. That is the busy travel week. A lot of folks are going to be traveling all next week starting tomorrow, so watch this. You ready? You're looking at vorticity, mid-level spin, and energy, and then surface, accumulated rainfall, and snowfall. And so you can see how as we head through the weekend into the start of next week and into the middle and latter part of next week into the next weekend, we're talking about a lot of rain around the area, and look at the snowfall expected across parts of the west and northwest. Now, notice that there's likely not much snow there showing up here in East Tennessee, but hold on a second. I've got a snowfall forecast for you coming up here in just a moment. All right, so let's walk you through the day ahead of us today. We do have the patchy dense fog. It is going to be thick. And again, the fog's going to burn off. We're likely not to get, again, not going to see a ton of sunshine because as the fog burns off and lifts, we become overcast and gray. It may mix out a little bit, but then as soon as it mixes out, we're going to start to see those clouds increasing. Here's 3 o'clock today. And so probably not going to see much activity by 3. Let's take you to all the way to 6 and 7 o'clock here tonight. And here comes our first round of rain. So if you are heading home from work 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock here tonight, keep in mind that you're going to be dealing with some rain showers. Now, the heaviest rain or the more likelihood of rainfall is going to be west of Interstate 75 as the atmosphere is really dry still. So we're going to get some virga and evaporation taking place. The accumulating rainfall still going to be on the light side by 7 o'clock, but Crossville, Jamestown, somewhere around there could see anywhere from a third to upwards of a quarter to upwards of a third of an inch of rainfall. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the day today. Again, don't expect a lot of sunshine, but grab the umbrellas. You'll need that. Temperatures this morning are trending colder than yesterday, but yesterday morning was extremely warm considering the time of the year. So when you look at the numbers, we're still trending above average for morning lows. We're in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Chattanooga coming in at 61 this morning. Knoxville's at 50. So not too terribly bad. And it is, even though we have the clouds in place, we have a little bit of a southerly flow taking shape. I'm still anticipating temperatures to top out in the upper 60s to low 70s. So it's still trending above average by 10, 12, 13 degrees or so. So it's still a warm day ahead of us today, considering that it is a chilly start to the morning, but above average. All right. Rain chances, and yes, it is going to be all rain chances through next Wednesday. So elevated rain chances by the end of the day today, wet weather overnight tonight, and then with some scattered showers throughout the day on Friday with some heavier showers Friday night and a Saturday morning. So we're going to keep you up to date on high school football if you have high school football tomorrow night or Friday night plans. Saturday, that 30% is probably going to be the first part of the day. The second part of the day should be, we should see increase in sunshine. And then Sunday should be mostly sunny and dry and a great day. So Sunday is a great day to get out and enjoy, or a good travel day if you're traveling here locally or around the region anyways. And again, that's where the East Tennessee Weather App is going to come into play, where you can check in on the interactive radar because it gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. And it works across the entire country. Then as we get into Monday, we'll start to see another surge of moisture start to slowly work our way. That's going to develop as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, I'm going to about a 50% chance of rain right now on Tuesday. At this point of the game, it's likely to be about an 80 to 100% chance of rain. But we'll start low and we'll gradually work our way up. All right, so let's take it day by day because this gives you a good perspective. This is over a 24-hour period from this morning through tomorrow morning. So if you happen to be traveling today for some crazy reason, for the holidays, not for some crazy reason, but for the holidays anyways, we are going to see rain increasing more so west and gradually spreading its way to the east. Then we go from Friday morning to Saturday morning. That's what we can anticipate around the area. Then we go from Saturday morning to Sunday morning, and we're going to start to see the rain showers move their way on out. Sunday into Monday, likely not to have much activity. But notice the rain back to our west. That's going to gradually pick back up. Then we go Monday into Tuesday. Here comes the rain. Tuesday into Wednesday, it's going to work its way on into the area. Wednesday into Thursday, it starts to exit. So remember, that takes us from Wednesday morning to Thursday morning. So Thanksgiving Day, I do think that we're going to have some sunshine, and it's going to be a nice, cool day because there's a cold front swinging through. You can see the trough right there in the screen. If I could draw a quick cold front, I would, but I can't. But the cold front's going to push on through. So the cold front comes through Wednesday into Thursday. That means we'll see clearing skies for Thanksgiving Day, and I actually think Thanksgiving Day is going to be great. Cool, comfortable. It's not going to be the 70s, although we've had years with 70s, and it feels good to get outside and play, take a nice little walk. But it also is nice to have a cool day or a more seasonable day. And I think that's pretty much how it's going to trend. When you piece this all together, this is how much rainfall we're talking about across the area. So we are looking at, here in East Tennessee, upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall possible. Then as we get further to our west, we're still talking about upwards of 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Now, again, not all in one day, but that's the kind of weather that you can anticipate for your travel or your holiday weeks if you happen to have the whole week off. All right, so we're not done with the forecast yet. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. I'm going to go above and beyond the 7-day, okay? I'm going to take you through Thanksgiving Day and the first weekend, the busiest shopping weekend of the year. So this is what your 7-day looks like. We're going to trend in the 70s today and tomorrow, mid to upper 60s Saturday and Sunday, and even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's really not bad. That's average high is 59 degrees, so we're still trending above average. Yes, they do, my friends. Yes, they do. All right, now let's move on with the extended forecast. And again, above and beyond the 7-day, the confidence level is pretty low, but gradually increasing in confidence that the colder air is going to be in place. So Thanksgiving Day, I'm going sunshine and 52 right now. Black Friday, Saturday and Sunday, or depends on how you're feeling about this, huh? So, okay, now, if you know me and if you've been part of the product and part of the platform for a long time, you know I'm not a naysayer. I don't throw out a bunch of nonsense. I don't throw a lot of long-range forecasting out there. Now, every once in a while I will, and typically I'll say this is not a forecast. This looks like this could happen, but this is not a forecast. This is not your official forecast, but this is an idea of what could be taking shape. Now, I do think that temperatures will be in the 40s. So it is going to be chilly. So if you have friends and family members coming to town for Thanksgiving Day, tell them to grab their winter coats because it's going to be cold. But also prepare your friends and family for the potential for some snow. Let me explain a little bit more detail, okay? All right. So here's your ensemble forecast. Now, I'm going to stop this here for a second. Here's your ensemble forecast, okay? And so ensembles, again, is the deterministic models. You'll hear us talk about that every once in a while. A lot of forecasting has gone to ensemble forecasts. They take a bunch of forecasts. They take a forecast model. They take a bunch of them together, and they gradually just change little nuances within that model, i.e. the equation. Do we add, maybe let's take the dew point up a little bit. Let's take the dew point down a little bit. Let's increase the temperature a little bit. Let's decrease the temperature. And then it comes up with a solution based on all these little differences. So it gives us a better idea of long-range forecasting. Ensembles are the only way you can do long-range forecasting. You cannot look at a deterministic model with any sort of confidence at all above and beyond the 7-day forecast. And that's why I've said, be careful what you share on social media, because a lot of people are putting out deterministic models. Oh my gosh, we're going to get 5 to 8 inches of snowfall here. I showed that to you the other day. That dude reached out to me, by the way. And we had a nice little phone call about it because I called him out on social media. I was like, dude, come on. Now you're treading on my territory. You put 5 to 8 inches of snowfall here in East Tennessee. Hold on a second. We're 10 days out. Not responsible forecasting. All right, so Thursday morning, we're fine. Notice there's a little bit of snow off to our north and northwest. Let's take you through Friday. Thursday, we're great. Friday afternoon, we could start to see a little bit of maybe some light snow around the area. Saturday into Sunday, maybe some lingering snow showers as well. So this is your National Weather Service blend of models, an ensemble forecast. But I looked at all the other ensembles as well. And we're going to dive into some model forecasting here this morning because I want to give you a bigger picture, a more broader picture. So stick around for as long as you can. If you need to go, sure hope you have a great day. Remember, I've got a very detailed forecast on the East Tennessee weather app this morning under your full forecast. And by the way, we fixed it. It is not dumping out on you halfway through the forecast. Thank goodness for that. All right, so now let's bring it closer to home. Right? And I don't know why that's on there, but closer to home, probably your typical horseshoe at this point of the game. Cumberland Plateau, the Smoky Mountains, and it's at this point of the game probably going to be on the light side. However, let's do a little bit of modeling for you here, shall we? Because I'm going to take you to the model forecast. Okay, so let's go here for a second. Okay, so now what we're looking at is the American model. This is this is the European model. We're starting this at 18Z on Thursday, so the Thanksgiving Day. What you'll notice is this trough right here. See this trough? That trough right there is anticipated to come on through. So that's the European. Now I'll switch to the GFS, same time frame. And the trough not nearly as significant, but still showing some troughing in the atmosphere. Let's go back to the European. Now we come through time. This is Friday now. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning on Black Friday. Notice that trough is digging even more so on the European model. Come back to the GFS, not so much, but starting to show some signs of digging a little bit further to our west, maybe a little bit more delayed. Okay, back to the European model. Here we go. It comes on through. That's the energy. That's the energy that we could potentially see. And I will say this, that the European model does a much better job at forecasting longer range than the American or the GFS model. That's Saturday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. There's that big, deep trough hanging out with us. Go to the GFS, not as deep. Okay? Not nearly as deep at all. Now we'll take you into Sunday as folks start to travel out and about and the trough starts to lift its way on out per the GFS. The European model, same for that. So now let's switch over to precipitation and winter weather, okay? Let me go back to Thursday. Come back to Thursday. That's 7 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. We're going to show you accumulated snowfall. And now, of course, we're looking at the entire country. But watch this. The European model has, let's just bring this view down closer to home. Okay, the European model, here's what it's forecasting all the way through Saturday. So from Friday into Saturday, this potentially could happen. Now, European model is picking up at about 1 inch to 2 inches across the Cumberland Plateau, southeastern Kentucky, upper East Tennessee, and the Smoky Mountains. It's painted a picture of about there's a 9.6 inches right there. So anywhere from, say, 5 to 10 inches of snowfall. Okay, hold on a second. As I said, snowfall forecasting is very difficult. And anything above and beyond the 7-day forecast or any snowfall totals above and beyond 5 days is irresponsible forecasting. I will give you the ideas, but now let's go over to the GFS, same time frame, 12Z, Saturday, which was 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and you get the point. This is a deterministic model, okay? But what I showed you on the map was your ensemble forecast. When I showed you this, this is the ensembles. This is taking a bunch of it together, and I looked at a bunch of ensembles, and they all have this general idea in place. But like I said, the European does a fairly good job at long-range forecasting, especially when it comes to temperatures and disturbances. But again, pinpointing snowfall. So you're likely to see this map. You're likely to see this map in some form or fashion show up on social media throughout the day today. Just throwing it out there. It is going to happen. Watch what you share. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm very conservative in my forecasting. But again, you're going to see this map show up on social media throughout the day today with zero context to the map itself or the post itself. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And all models are indicating that surface temperatures are going to be on the chilly side. I mean, that's 12Z Saturday. It's got our temperature down to 33 degrees here in Knoxville. Sunday morning, it's got us down to 27 degrees here in Knoxville. And Thanksgiving Day morning, here's Thanksgiving Day morning. It's got us down to about the mid to upper 30s. So again, that's the general idea. Hopefully that helps you kind of paint a little bit of a picture on what potentially could happen, but without much confidence in there. What's that? Where did that come from? Anyways, I don't know why that just showed up on the thing, but we'll come back to me. All right, that's the forecast. Hopefully, you take that with a grain of salt. Again, watch what you see and share on social media. It is important because the more you share frivolous information, the more it gets posted out, the more those folks make, the more they post frivolous information. Again, you just got to come to a trusted source. I don't care where you live, and I don't care what meteorologist you like. It does not matter. Just come to a trusted source or find a trusted source, especially when it comes to social media. That's the thing. It's a huge game on social media, and there's a lot of folks making a lot of money, as I've clearly explained over the last several days and weeks. And I will start posting some information about this. So please, if you see it on social media coming from Mike Witcher or East Tennessee Weather, please share that. All right, I digress. I'll get off my soapbox. Here we go. Let's take it back outside because it is a foggy start to the day. That's downtown Clinton, Anderson County this morning. But we got to have a little bit of fun, too, don't we? So let's talk about your national holidays for the day today. Today is November 20th. Any birthdays or events going on? Of course, there's lots of events. And I got an event to share with you. Of course, the Children's Hospital Fantasy of Trees is coming up next week. Tickets are cheap. I promise you. If kids are like $5, adults or seniors like $8. I think adults are like $10, something like that. It's not expensive, and it really sets the stage for the holiday season. So hopefully you get a chance to go check out Children's Hospital's Fantasy of Trees next week. I highly recommend it, especially if you have friends and family coming to town. It's a great event. It's a big a day on Thanksgiving Day. If you're looking for something to do, eat Thanksgiving dinner, head down to the convention center, and go check out the Fantasy of Trees. You can get tickets on sale online, or you can get tickets at the door as well. All right, November 20th, birthdays and events. Today is National Rural Health Day. Say that 10 times fast. Rural health. Felicia's got an event coming up Saturday on the second annual Battle of the Castle at Millennium Manor in Alcoa. Full armor battles, Renaissance vendors, and tour of the castle 10 to 5, rain or shine. Come see the Critter Keeper and take home your own dragon. That's awesome. Good job, Felicia. Love it. All right, let's see. Today is also National Absurdity Day. Great. National Peanut Butter Fudge Day. Some of you may like peanut butter fudge. Today's a good day to do it. Maybe make some homemade peanut butter fudge. Today is also the Great American Smokeout. Good day. If you use tobacco, maybe today is the day that you've been promising yourself for years. The day is the day to quit. You got this. If you smoke, if you use tobacco, today's a good day to quit. You can do it. And it's National Child's Day. Love our kids. They're awesome people. All right, let's talk about historical weather events for this date in history. In 1989, low pressure brought thunderstorms and high winds to the northeastern U.S. 193 reports of damaging winds and thunderstorms in New York State. In 1988, thunderstorms developing ahead of a fast-moving cold front produced severe weather in the upper Ohio Valley and middle Atlantic coast region during the afternoon and early evening hours. In 1987, blustery northwest winds created snow squalls in the Great Lakes region, up to 18 inches at Paradise. In 1979, a blizzard struck Cheyenne, Wyoming, producing a record 19.8 inches of snow in 24 hours. In 1914, the high temperature of 28 degrees in Atlanta, Georgia, was the earliest daily high below the freezing mark. In 1900, an unusual tornado outbreak in the lower Mississippi River Valley resulted in 73 deaths. And in 1869, a second great windstorm, I love these like these old ones, and a second great windstorm in 3 days struck Vermont and New York, blowing railroad trains off their tracks. Love the wording of like the old time English. All right, and on this date in history, the daily quote: "Yes, as the music changes, like a prismatic glass, it takes the light and ranges through all the moods that pass." Alfred Noyes. In 1987, Sign o' the Times, Prince's third movie, opened up. In 1983, an estimated 100 million people watched the controversial ABC TV movie The Day After. The movie depicted the outbreak of nuclear war. Did you see that one? In 1969, the Nixon administration announced a halt to residential use of the pesticide DDT as part of a total phase-out of the substance. Thank goodness for that. In 1873, Budapest was formed with the rival cities of Buda and Pest were united to form the capital of Hungary. Cool stuff. That was 1873. And in 1789, New Jersey became the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights. It's not foggy everywhere, by the way. Got some great sunshine showing up in the mountains of East Tennessee. How about that? Live looking Anakista here at this hour. Gorgeous sunshine. So again, like I said, some fog for some sunshine for others, but increasing clouds and a chance of rain through the day today as our storm system approaches the area, bringing us the start of a very active, wet weather pattern. And Wade Ward sending us a nice little picture of the fog this morning. We're stuck in the fog. Wade, where are you? Julie, have you found your husband? Wade, where are you? I can't see you. I'm trying to see if I have any new pictures to share with you here this morning. The wife and I sent out. Oh, here's a great picture that showed up the other day that I missed on social media. This was a great one. How about that one? That's the Smoky Mountains after our first snowstorm. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? That is great. Love me some snow. That's all the Witcher's pictures I have this morning. Not else. I think somebody said they sent one to me in the email. See if I get it. I don't see it. Oh, there's a great event coming up. I forgot to tell you about this. There's a great event coming up. If you want to donate to a great cause, I don't think I have all the information on hand. I don't. But they're at Holston Hills on December 4th, I believe it is. Julie, you want to help me with this one? On December... this would be December 7th, I believe, because I'm going to be at a digital weather conference. December 7th, Holston Hills. I'll be talking more about this in the coming days. We have a bike donation. Melissa Hagg is it's called Bucky's Bikes. Okay, so Bucky's Bikes is a nonprofit charity that was organized in memory of Bucky Jones in 2013 by his family. Sadly, Bucky passed away in 2013 from esophageal cancer. If you knew him, you loved him. He was kind, giving, and a caring person. A wonderful big brother. He always believed every child should have a new bike for Christmas. Oh, that gives me goosebumps. So for years, he had been donating a few bikes to the Mission of Hope for Christmas. So as with his passing, this is how it all began. Christmas of 2013, his family and a few friends decided to donate bikes to the Mission of Hope in Bucky's memory. I believe we gave about 23 bikes that year. Since then, the numbers have grown year after year. Last year, they had over 600 brand new bikes donated to the Mission of Hope. Every December on the first Sunday, December 7th this year, we hold the charity event at Holston Hills Country Club in Knoxville. That's on the east side of downtown. They are very gracious to hosting the event and have also given us a beautiful table of finger food. It's from 2 to 5 o'clock, so from 2 to 5 p.m. at Holston Hills on December 7th. You can go donate a brand new bicycle to give to the Mission of Hope to help a kid here in Appalachia. The bikes have been distributed to the Mission of Hope throughout the Appalachian Mountains. I will be talking about this in the coming days. I'm trying to make it to the event. If I can get back from my weather conference, I'm going to be heading down to Middle Tennessee for the second digital weather broadcast conference hosted by folks like me. And I'll be speaking up there talking about how video has changed the environment of what we do, because we have vertical video and we have horizontal video. Again, December 7th, Holston Hills from 2 to 5. We're talking about Bucky's Bikes, a nonprofit to donate bikes, brand new bikes, to the Mission of Hope. It is the season, my friends, to give, to receive, to love one another, and to enjoy the season for what it is. It can be stressful. Try not to stress out too much. I'll keep you posted on the cold air that's heading our way next week, the possibility of some snow showers. Stay tuned every day. I'll have all the latest forecasts. I'll be slowly working our way up. Like and share from all Mike Witcher Facebook pages, East Tennessee Weather Facebook page. Not only does it help the platform out, we're giving reliable, trustworthy information, the best of my knowledge and my forecast skills. And I've been forecasting here for more than 20 years. Pushing 23 years now. I've been forecasting here in East Tennessee. I didn't make it through all the chat. We had a lot to talk about. It is now 7:58. I appreciate that, Lee. I really do appreciate that. Thanks, Kimberly. I appreciate that as well. Parking for Fantasy of Trees is expensive, but all the money goes to a great cause, and that's to our own East Tennessee Children's Hospital, who is a sponsorship here on the East Tennessee Weather Platform. And good job, Lee. Great smokeout. You quit back in 2011. This is awesome. Just blasting through the chat here real quick. Everyone say a prayer tomorrow for Branson. He's having a surgical outpatient procedure, which does require him to be put to sleep. And that is a scary thing. As a mom, as a grandma. Yeah, I remember when my kid went under for tubes in his ears. Outpatient as well, but they had to put him under when he was a baby. All right, my friends. Sure hope you have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Enjoy the day. Grab the umbrellas. Brace for the rain this week. Not going to be an all-day washout every day. Saturday should be great. Sunday should be great as well. But brutally cold air and maybe some snow next week. See you back here tomorrow.
While the visionaries run a race that's already lost. It's you. Oh, it's you. It's you. Oh, it's you. There's a schoolboy standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint twists and turns up the alley just like it should. So your colors, they start and it's stripping you